Hi Flosstube, welcome back. My name's Mel and this is my channel, Patchy Pony Stitcher, and this is Flosstube number 51. Yes, I know I haven't been around for a while. It's been crazy busy. Today is the 13th of July 2023 and I haven't been on for 3 months. So thank you if you're a current subscriber and you've stuck around. And if you're new, just checking me out, I hope there's something here that you like and will subscribe and come back in future videos. Now, like the title says, there is a bit of everything today. I haven't been here for 3 months, so I've got heaps of progress to show you. And I thought, well, I might as well just do a full whip parade and sort of just rehash where things are for every project, because some projects I haven't touched and some I've done so much on. So there's going to be before photos. So we're going to do sort of like a restart with all the projects, because it's been a while. There's been new projects, there's been finished projects, everything's out of order, and I had to pull everything out today and write down where we were and get everything regrouped. So you're going to see everything. I've got 2 finishes, I've got a giveaway, a winner, I've got some happy mail, I've got all sorts. So buckle up and enjoy. Now, the first thing I do want to address is my last video, Flosstube number 50. I had a few messages because I was wearing a shirt, but you couldn't quite see the entire shirt, and it didn't really, I didn't notice it because it's a shirt I wear all the time. So this is what you could see. And I guess out of context, it didn't really make a lot of sense, and people were like, what? If you are a Yellowstone fan, you will know. So I'm sorry I didn't address the shirt in the video because it just didn't come to mind, and I just had a lot of people sort of asking about the shirt. So that's the shirt that I was wearing last time. If you go back and have a look if you want to see where it's just got RIP. It looks like RIP, but no, RIP. Okay. So in the 3 months that I've been absent from YouTube or from filming, I've been around. I've definitely still been watching lots of channels and keeping up with my stitching, but I haven't been creating myself for content because I have just been hugely busy with horse riding. I've got 2 horses that I do a lot of work with, and also we've got a new puppy. So at the moment he's a 4-month-old Kelpie, and I'll pop some footage of him in here for you. He's the most darling little thing, but a huge time waster. And who doesn't love a time waster? When you're empty nesters, you need something to fill that void. So we got ourselves a puppy. His name is Andy, and he is just delightful. So hopefully there won't be too much destruction, as puppies tend to bring along, but we'll see how we go with that. So let's move on into what I've got for you to show you in cross stitch. So first of all, I've got 2 finishes that I'm going to share with you today. One, I don't know how much you got to see in progress because it's only a small, and this is Hands On Designs Autumn Skies. So it's got 2 charts in it. Actually, I didn't bring the actual cover photo with me to show, but there's got 2 charts in it. So this is the first one, and this was just I used for some challenges along the way, which is really cute. And the other one is a pillow finish, but because I didn't center my fabric, I've sort of broken up the pillow finish and I will piece it together because it comes with a bit of wool, not wool, but some felted trim to make the cushion. So hopefully next video you'll see these 2 actually FFO'd and completed. For autumn, there's plenty of time because it's winter here in Australia. So that one won't, even once it gets fully finished, it won't get to see the day of light for a little while. Now, the next finish that I have is from an Australian designer, and it is Crafty Like a Fox, but on Etsy, she's so crafty, or oh fox, you are so crafty. Anyway, this is one of the charts that I have put together. So there were 3 charts. Excuse the dog barking if you can hear. That's the puppy that I just mentioned. So that is the cockatoos, and I had the galahs, and there was also a koala one. So we're here at home, we've also got black cockatoos. So I converted the white cockatoos into black cockatoos. I made, and well, I just went as I went with those green parrots. They sort of come in at the end of the fruit tree season and finish off all the stone fruit and apples, which is really good. And then I also made up the magpie little pattern there, because we've also got lots of magpies. So I put this all together on, so I call it my row of birds, but they are actually separate charts, the galahs, cockatoos, and the koala. And then I've added in my own saying, if you want to fly, let go of everything that weighs you down. And ironically, there's a heavy koala right in the middle. So I was going to drum this finish, but I think I will actually finish it in a long piece. It's on a nice bit of lakeside linen fabric that I want to utilize soon. So this has been in my whip pile since 2019. So it's good to get an oldie out and completed. So finding the right frame is going to be a bit tricky, but I might have to get hubby to construct something up for me. So we'll see how we go there. Now I've got 21 whips that I have put, all my whips, I've pulled them all out this morning to show you. The first one I'm going to show you is my oldest, and it is my full coverage. So this is where it was before, and this is called Prairie Romance, and this has been going since June 2019, and this is where it is up to now. So as you can see, I'm really close to a finish. I've only got a page and a half to go, and I feel that momentum building as we get closer and closer. I just want to work on it as much as I can. But I do need to be at home for that one, and I need to have a decent amount of time. I find if I want to work on a full coverage, I need to be able to sit down for an hour or two and get some decent work in. So that is whip number 1. Now, my plan was to do these in order, but I might have to press pause in between each one to find the right one. Whip number 2, so these are going in oldest to newest as far as their start dates, not in completion order or so forth. If you've been with me since the beginning, this is a whip that I've had. I call it my sampler of firsts, and it is sort of based on the Cloud Factory type of style, and these are singers that I've been to their concerts and their dates, and I have a whole heap to put on there, and I haven't touched this in over 12 months. It's hard going because I've got to chart each person. The last one I did was Swifty, and that was 2015. So I have 8 years of concerts to put in there. So got a ways to go with that, and I don't want to UFO it, but there's nothing calling me to work on that one. The next one I'm going to show you is Blossom, which is by Carolyn Manning. Now, I hadn't seen this chart, and I haven't seen anybody else ever show it either. And as you can see on this one, it's got little crochet flowers and blossoms, which did come with it when I bought it. And I'm a decent ways along with this one, which I really need to get my butt into gear and complete it. I didn't even pull this one out of the Q-snap. So I've got that much to be done. And keeping in mind the bigger blank spots like that up there will have the crocheted flower in there. So that is one that I would like to have finished for this spring. But I don't have a rotation. I am a prompt challenge stitcher, and I really only put 300 stitches in at a time when I'm doing the challenges. So I just pick up whatever whip fits that challenge, and if there's multiple whips, whichever one calls me the most. Now my next oldest whip is Quilting Bee. So this is where it was up to before you saw it. This is the chart. Now I used the DMC, and I also used 14 count for this, And if I had my time over, I'd do it on a much smaller count. And I would have used the fancy floss. So not far to go. And I would like to get this one finished for summer this coming summer, because that will be my sort of decor for summer, is a bee theme. Now, once upon a time, when I had first started stitching on this, I saw somebody use a different thread for the wings, but it was more like a translucent thread. And as you can see, that's like a light blue fancy floss. So now that I'm finally up to the wings, I went to my stitching shop, A Stitch in Time, here in Hobart, and I picked myself up some petite Rainbow Gallery, and it's got a shimmer to it. So I'm hoping that'll give me the look of the bee wing that I'm hoping for. So again, hopefully next video you'll see some definite progress on that one. Celtic Welcome by Joan Elliott is my next oldest WIP, and this one I've been putting a bit in lately because of, again, challenges. So this is where it was up to before, and this is the chart. Now it is all full coverage. The white is negative space on the fabric. So the full coverage is these corners. And when I first started it, I didn't really like it at all, but I have kept going, and hardly anything, but definitely starting to see some structure coming into that now. So I am happy with how that's progressing. And this is 18 count, and I'm using one thread, which I quite like using one thread opposed to two. The stitches do lay nicer, and I'm cross country. So that is my Celtic Welcome. Okay, my next oldest stitch again is one I hadn't seen before, and this is a Carriage House samplings called Quaker Quilts. And again, I haven't seen anyone else stitch this before. When I do get to these animals, I might leave the birds on, but I will be definitely removing the snake and the squirrel. So this is where I was up to before. And again, not a huge amount. So this is more of a prompt stitch, more so for penalty colours, if I can get it out. And that is where we're up to. So it's coming along really nicely. I'm using Victoria Motto thread, so I'm getting a bit of variegation through there. And I think once it's done, it'll just be a nice all year round piece to have on the wall. The next one I'm going to show you is one a lot of people, you would have seen this on Flosstube with other stitches, and I seem to be dropping down. Let's fix that. Okay, so the next one is Christmas Quaker 2. This is the design. Awful front cover because the actual photograph is all smooshed up of the fabric. So this is where I was before. Now I'm going to take this out of the Q-snap, and I haven't seen this actually for a little while. I haven't taken it out unless I need to move it. So this will be interesting for me too. Can I show you? It's quite big. So I'm using DMC 115, which is the DMC variegated thread. I'm going to have to, sorry, should have been a bit more prepared. There is going to be a cleanup and a half after this. Okay, so this is where we're up to. Bloody beautiful. I love how this is coming along. And we're more than halfway finished. And you'll see, I've already put the date in, if I can find it. I can't even see. There it is. 2022. So that'll have to get fixed up when we finish, but I reckon we might get a finish this year, nearly at the bottom. Depends how much time I put into it, but that is a great stitch. If you've ever thought about doing one of the Quaker Christmases, they're great. I love it. It's a very enjoyable stitch. The next one I'm going to show you is Fire and Ice. This was, I'm going to have to go get it. I had to go get this one because it's in a stand in my other room. Now this was a adopted piece, so it was partially started by another stitcher who decided they were going to UFO it, so I took it on. This is the finished piece. Sorry for the glare. So it's an oldie, this one. I haven't seen anyone else stitch it, but I see the chart quite regularly come up on D-stashes. And this is where I'm up to. And it's on a black linen. So I have to really be in the mood to stitch on this one because it is tough going with holes. You really got to get your eye in for black fabric. But once you get going, it's not as... Once you get going and you've done it for a couple of hours, it seems to get easier. But the first sort of 15 minutes are tough going. So still a long ways to go on Fire and Ice. Farmhouse Christmas. This is where I was up to before. And these are multiple charts. This is by the Little House Needleworks. A lovely viewer sent these to me and I'm still working my way through them with the called for classic Colourworks threads. But I don't find there's a lot of variegation in the threads. But once I've started now, I'll keep going. So I will replace them as I run out of them. And I have completed, well, 4.5 squares. So this is where we're up to. So I'm doing them all together with the border that's provided, but I haven't gone around with I may even pick this brown border out that it calls for and just leave the snowflake border. So again, this one is a great prompt stitch because it's got all sorts of animals, cars, trucks, houses, so it does go well. It suits well for prompt stitching in challenges, and also it's a nice, easy, fun one, that one. The next one I'm going to show you was a giveaway win from Debbie at Creatively Yours. So this pattern, Diocahoon from Joke a Trebel Denays, come from the Netherlands. Debbie sent that over to me. This is where we were before. And this is where we are up to now. So that first round is nearly completed and I am going to call it a day with this one once I finish the squirrels and finish it into some round finish because I have miscounted on my fabric. There is no way that that's going to get completed on this piece and I didn't want to start it again, so I will just complete this first round. I won't even put that border, which is disappointing because I really liked the blue color that I'd picked out. So these were Victorian mottos as well, but that'll make a nice little autumn piece. The next one is also another adopted piece. Now this one's from Christine, Stitch All the Things. Christine put this one up as a giveaway when she UFO'd it. So this is where it was before. This is the pattern. And I won't be using the taco words in it. I haven't even worked out what I'm going to put into it. And this is one thread over 25 count over even weave with all fancy flosses that Christine chose. So she had completed this side and I have taken it across the top. So that one is coming along. And again, it is a little bit hard because it's small, so I have to be in the right frame of mind to work on that one. However, I do enjoy it and how it's looking. Okay. The next one that I'm going to show you, unless you've been with me before, you may not have seen this chart because it is one that's been taken from an Australian artist and made into a pattern called The Gift, which is about our Anzacs and the war horses. And it's a watercolour that's been converted into a cross-stitch pattern. And it was also a fundraiser. This is where it was before when you last saw it. And this is where I'm up to with it. So you can't really see what it is unless you're looking at the picture side by side, but I've got a ways to go. It's quite big. But I love Easy Guide. I wouldn't do another full coverage without Easy Guide now, because you really can cross country and finish those threads off rather than parking. I started parking when I was doing Prairie Romance, and as I got better and more confident with full coverage, then I was able to cross country better, and it just tidies things up as you go when you don't have lots of loose threads. Now, this is a favourite. A lot of people are doing this one, Consider the Lilies. And I'm doing this with Catherine from Neat and Knot. I think it's just Neat and Knot. And we have our hashtag call that is hashtag across the Tasman lilies, as you would have more than likely seen this before from other Flosstubers. This is where I was up to before with Consider the Lilies. And this is where I am up to now. If I can get it all in for you, it's a big girl, but very enjoyable. So I've been working down through here of late and just loving how that is coming along. But as you can see, still a long way to go, not even halfway done yet. And this is my first sampler. Actual proper sampler, and I do like it. I have purchased more samplers to do, but that will not happen until Consider the Lilies is done, because they're big and I want to actually finish them and have them on the wall. So I'm hoping to get that one done. Well, it's a focus piece. I do like to bring that one out, which is great for challenge stitching because there's so many different things in it that it fits a lot of prompts. So very helpful and handy. Colours of the Water. Now these ones are by a German designer, Dorothy. They are quite popular. You may have seen them by other Flosstubers. This is the chart that what it would look like when it's finished. Very pretty. I'm using the DMC threads. This is where I was up to previously, and my huge progress. Yeah, this is where I'm up to now, and I love it. It just looks stunning. It is one that I do look forward to having up on the wall, because again, it's something that will go up all year round. It's not a seasonal piece. I find I do have a lot of seasonal, so it's going to be nice to have a few pieces done that will be usable all year round. The next one I'm going to show you is called Spring Freebie by While Ira Snaps. This is where I was up to before. And I don't think, this is the chart, which I think you can still get from her website, whileirasnaps.com. And it was originally charted for 2 little pillows. And I am making a drum from mine. And this is where I'm up to. So I've got to put the green tops on the carrot. I want to do another bunny and another carrot and the rest of the bottom border. And then I will be putting that into a drum for Easter. And I use the week's threads to get the variegation, which I absolutely love. They're little cute bunny tails. I love that one. Next is Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird. Many of you have seen this one before. This is the chart. This is where I was up to last time you saw it. And this is where we're up to now. And this is my first blackbird, and I absolutely love it. I can't believe I hadn't done a blackbird before this. I'd won this chart in a giveaway, and I have since bought more blackbirds to do. Just lovely. And this is on Vintage Country Mocha, which is the fabric that is plain on one side and mottled on the other. And again, this is my first time using Vintage Country Mocha, and I would definitely be using that again because it's such a nice fabric to use. The next one is a Plum Street. Now, I'm not sure if there is a before photo for this one, so if there is, it'll go in here. If there isn't, this is what the piece will look like. And I'm going to modify this chart. I'm not going to put the people on the ponies, or the turkey. It's just going to be the tree, the autumn tree with the two horses standing underneath it. And this is where we're up to. That way. So I have just done the border, most of the border, and the tree leaves. And I'm using the Weeks variegated threads to get the variegation in the leaves. And I will do the two horses in my own horse colours, which are two Palominos, but I'll do a variation in colour so they're slightly different. Mill Hill. Now I started, I don't think you've seen this at all. I started this in January. I'd like to do one Mill Hill a year for my tree. If I did show you before, this is where it was before. If I haven't shown you, because I have done a video since January, so I may. And this is where we're up to now. So nearly all the stitching done. Absolutely love Mill Hill kits. They're so, it's instant gratification once you bead and finish it. The finishing is so good and easy. I just put on the adhesive felt on the back and Bob's your uncle, and on the tree it goes. It's super easy. Next one I have started is a very new start. So there is no before photo for this one. It is Bluebirds of Happiness, and I've seen other stitchers do these, and people always comment on how big they are and how deceptive you don't realize until you start stitching. And this is my piddly little start, a green challenge stitch, and I'm using the variegated thread. Oh no, that's a Victorian motto, that one. This pink linen I've got, it's very crunchy, but it needed to be used up, and it suited that chart well, being that it had a pink fabric behind, so that'll make a nice spring one. Two more to go. This chart I picked up on the freebie table at the Daisy Chain retreat. It is called Singing in the Rain by Madame Chantilly, and this is my first Madame Chantilly. Now, red, I do like reds, but at Christmas time, and I decided that I would more than likely have this as a spring piece, so I changed it to turquoise, and I'm using a Silks For You turquoise, and I'm also changed the chicken from white. So he's slightly variegated, well, she is slightly variegated in that. And I have used cat's tail weeks to get the variegation that I've achieved there. How cute is this needle minder from the Laurie Holt collection? I do love all those chickens that they've got out there. They are on my wish list. So the Chicken Club. So that is called Singing in the Rain by Madame Chantilly. And my most recent start is one by, it's an Etsy, who's this one by again? Cherry Hill Stitchery. It's called Malarkey and Shenanigans. So it's a St. Patrick's Day stitch, which is a little bit dark. So I've lightened up my threads to be a bit greener. And this is where I am up to with this. So only a wee start on that because that was just again, a challenge stitch. Now, before when I mentioned Rip, here's Rip again from Yellowstone. And if you know, you know. So that is my 21 projects. So my aim of the game now is to keep you more up to date. Because before when I used to do Flosstube, I would actually write down how many stitches I'd done in each project, and then I'd come back to you once a month and show you the 5 that I'd put the most in. Because I'm a challenge stitcher, sometimes 300 stitches looks like diddly squat, and it wasn't worth showing. So that's what I intend to do again now that I've written them down, sorted them out, because I had stopped even recording what my whips were. I didn't even know how many I had. So I've got 21 currently. I do have one penciled in for a new start this week because I needed a one for a prompt, which, believe it or not, nothing fitted. Well, it did fit, but I just felt like a new start. So, and it's only a small Christmas one, but you'll see that next time. So stay tuned. Right, happy mail. What have I been getting for my stash enhancements? The fun bit. I received some beautiful happy mail from Lisa Lost in Stitches. She was doing, it wasn't a giveaway, it was just a random, she just randomly picked someone who commented on her channel and sent out a happy mail. So no idea what was coming. And I received this beautiful little package, and it had this handmade needle book in it. It was just beautiful that Lisa had made. So thank you, Lisa. I really love it. And now that I've shown it, I'm going to pop all my needles in here and get rid of all my packets of needles that are floating around. I do love this, and it's got a little pocket. If you haven't watched Lisa in Lost in Stitches, go check her out. She's just darling. And she sent me some floss with it and some stickers. And a beautiful card. So it was just made my day. So thank you, Lisa. I do treasure that needle book that you've made for me. Now, I also did have some other happy mail from one of my stitchy friends that I attend retreats with, and I didn't ask for permission, so I'm not going to say, but she did pass along some pieces that she was doing a move and needed to declutter, so I very happily took some pieces off her hand. The first one I have is from this one that she sent. Actually, this is probably a nicer. So this is Sovereign Samplers, Jane Sarden 1883. And it came with the threads and also the fabric of Fox and Rabbit. So very, very, very generous to pass that along. And also the Cruel Gobelin, this, what is it? The Schoolgirl Sewing Club. And it's a little pin cushion with a pocket. Just beautiful. And also a blackbird. How could I say no? So another blackbird, another sampler. I love the border on this one. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I haven't even kitted that up. It's just been sitting there in my pile of goodness. Now, things that I have purchased. I have picked out the Primrose Cottage I'd Rather Be Stitching. Again, for my summer display. I do like these hands-on designs block parties. I've got number 25 and now 17th, and it came with the little piece of felt. I didn't particularly want the numbers, but I do love that. I'm not sure what it is. It is in the shelter of each other that people live, is what it says around the outside. Just gorgeous. I do like the Irish St. Patrick's Day charts. And I had to buy this. I was watching Country Stitches 10 days ago, and Deb showed her Kaleidoscope by Laurie Holt. Now I'll just open the book and make sure I don't show you the chart. If you don't watch Country Stitches, you're missing out, because it is they are my absolute favourite, the Country Stitches ladies. So when Deb showed this, it was one of those pause, screenshot, go and find the chart immediately. And then Deb had said she had asked for her own colours. So I'll pop an overlay here of what Deb's colours are. I love it. Had to have it. Literally stopped, went and bought this, then messaged Deb and said, could I please have your colours, which she gave me, and they're on order as well. And now I've just got to get some fabric, and that's got to be started. So Kaleidoscope by Laurie Holt. My first Laurie Holt pattern, actually. But I just loved Deb's conversion, just beautiful. Then I had some a D-stash. I picked this up off of an Aussie D-stash on Facebook called Cat Lovers. That's going to be changed to Horse Lovers. And I'm going to pop some little horsies in there, some ponies opposed to the cats. But I do love me a Quaker. So that was a good find, and quite a pretty, a smaller, pretty Quaker. I don't know if anyone, actually I do think I've seen one person stitching that at the moment. And then I had a lovely win from Annie, the proper stitcher, called Fiona and Edward. I have never seen this chart again, another Kathy Barrick one that I'd never seen anybody else stitching. How could I not put my name down for that? And I was lucky enough to be picked for that one. So that will also go into my new starts list. Love it. So thank you, Annie. Now, I had a giveaway in my last Flosstube, and it was for the Blue Flowers Winter Squirrel, which I have finished. Oops, sorry. And you had to use the word winter, and I will insert the winner here after the screen grab from the comment picker. So congratulations. If you send me an email, my email is in the description box below. I will get that out to you. And with this video, there is another giveaway, and I'm going to give away the cockatoo portion of Crafty Like a Fox from my finish. It's called Squawkers. So if you would like this, and I'm happy to send to anywhere in the world, if you would like to be in the running for this, please use the word, I don't want to use the word blue. Let's use the word squawk. So not squawkers, or you can do squawkers, but squawk. Try and use the word squawk, because I tell you what, my puppy squawks a lot when he's playing out there with the older dog. So squawkers, you can be in the running for that. So that is it for today. But like I said, I am going to try and come back a little bit more regularly and show you more updates. I've got a retreat for daisy chain stitchery coming up in August, so only a few weeks ago, and I haven't done my small yet. So I really need to get onto that, actually, because I do love being part of the Smalls Exchange. So that is something to look forward to, and coming up and spending 4 delicious days stitching with old friends and a new friend. We've got a New Zealand stitcher who will be joining us in our accommodation, so that'll be lots of fun, and welcoming Michelle to our group. So I'm looking forward to that, Michelle. So I will see you it's July. What I might do is try and come back before the daisy chain stitchery retreat. Otherwise it just gets too overwhelming with all the stuff. A couple of months ago, I did participate and order the full kit for, well, not a full kit, the full package for Cottage Garden Threads for the Hearts for Pam. So I'm expecting that to really come at any time, because it did say it was going to be shipped in July. So I got all of the threads, the charts, the needle minder, not really sure what else was in the package. It was some time ago. So as soon as I get that, I'm going to do an unboxing. So keep an eye out for that. And if you'd like to, if you hit the bell, it will notify you when I do post that. So hopefully it'll come really soon. Every day I'm hoping it's there in the letterbox, but I think there'll be an email that'll go out before it hits the letterbox. But keep an eye out for that, because there's a whole heap of designers and the charts are going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see what colours that the ladies have picked for each of their charts from the cottage garden design. I think there's 10 different skeins coming in the floss pack of cottage garden thread, so super looking forward to that. So I hope you all enjoy your day, your evening, wherever you may be, and I look forward to having some chats with you. Please feel free to comment down below. I'd love interacting with you all, and I will see you very shortly. Bye.